Hello, my name is Mike Driscoll, and today I'm going to give you an introduction to context managers in Python. Alright, what is a context manager? They are handy constructs that allow you to set something up and tear something down automatically in your code. For example, you might want to open a file, write a bunch of stuff to it, and then close it. You can do this quite easily with a context manager. Context managers and the with statement in Python have been around since Python 2.5. So here's how you used to do it way back in the day. You would create an object, an open file object basically, where you say fObject equals open path, and you want to write to it. Then you write some data, and then you're forced to close it. And a lot of the time, you'd have to wrap all of this in a try except statement too, in case something bad happened when you're trying to write to the file, like you try to open a file that you're not supposed to write to, or in a location that you're not allowed to write to, and so you need to have a try except around it. So the people at Python HQ, they created the with statement and context managers, and they can simplify code like this by using the with statement. So you say with, open, same path. You note we still have the fObject, so when you open up the file object, you can assign it to a variable name, fObject, and then you can write to it. And anything inside this block is done while the file is open. And once you fall out of the block, it automatically closes. This is also will catch most, it won't catch errors, but it will fail more gracefully than doing this code up here. All right, let's create our own custom context manager here. So here's kind of one using SQLite. SQLite is a database package that comes with Python basically, but it's also obviously it's a module that comes with Python. It works with the free SQLite database. Anyway, to create your own context manager, you need to create an enter and an exit dunder method in a class. This is probably the quickest way to do it if you're creating one in a class. There's another way to do it. It's even easier using a module in Python that we'll talk to in a different video. But for now, let's create a data connection. We'll pass in a database name we want to use, and then we'll just create an enter and an exit dunder methods. So the enter method is basically where you open up the database connection, or in the case of that file that we had, this is where you'd open up the file and you'd return the file. With the database, you're going to return the connection. So we connect to our database by name, and then we return the database connection. And then here is what happens when you fall out of the block. So when you hit the exit dunder method here, or magic method here, you're going to close the connection. So self.con.close. If there's any kind of exceptions, you're going to re-raise it here. Then down here in our code, we can actually do whatever we need to do. So here we say with data con, pass in the connection database string to wherever that file is, create a connection object, and then you can create a cursor off of it, and you can create select statements, delete statements, insert statements, and just update your database as you need. And when you're done, your context manager will close the connection for you automatically. So that's the long and short of it, of how to create a custom context manager in Python. Remember, the main things you need to do when you create a custom context manager is you need the double underscore enter, double underscore, and then the dunder exit methods. Those two are required if you're going to do it using a class. Okay, let's talk a little bit about other context manager uses. I've used them a lot for opening and closing dialogs in a GUI format, like a graphical user interface. If I need to open up a GUI and do something inside the GUI, like I'm automating it, context managers are great for that. We already talked about database connections and file handles. You could also use context managers with sockets, threading locks, and lots of other things inside Python. These are just some examples. So let's wrap up a little bit. Here's some modules that use context managers under the hood. Opens a function. Threading's a module, decimal's a module, and context lib is where you can find all kinds of other neat context managers that are built into Python and can be added as a decorator. I'm going to talk about that in my next video. But for now, I just want to thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you all next time.